What are you doing? So I've got 6 sales calls, 4 client calls, and 3 websites due by the end of the week. I'm going to show you how I plan my week running multiple businesses. So the first part of my day on Sunday or Monday is always very prep oriented. With 3 companies, I forget the little things pretty often. Instead of planning my week first thing, then remembering the little things I'm missing, I choose to touch base with everybody first. That means all of my clients, my leads, and my business partner, just to touch base with everybody before actually planning my day. I find that this helps quite a bit. This may sound simple, but it actually takes quite a long time, considering a lot of them, whenever I text them, they give me a call back, and we end up talking for a decent amount of time about what they can expect this week, what's going on, so on and so forth. I'm usually sitting outside from about 9 or 10 a.m. until about 1 p.m. when I decide to make some food. During this time, I also catch up on news, plan out my day, and just spend some time with Luna. You can see her sitting next to me in this shot. She is my heart and a very social little dog who loves being around her papa even when I'm working. She just sits close by and soaks up the sun with me. I tend to do a lot of Zoom calls outside also. I work on websites, watch videos, and a number of other things. I get a lot of clarity outside, and I just enjoy the day and the daylight. When I'm overwhelmed, especially by work and stuff, I find it incredibly calming to just go and sit outside. It really helps my anxiety melt away. I've been waiting for this to come in for the past week. It's a new pickleball paddle. It's actually 2 of them. Two brand new pickleball paddles, carbon true foam, wide body, and the elongated. So some days just a sandwich and chips just sounds divine, and I'm already kind of behind today, so that's the plan. It's just simple sandwich, chips, done. That's lunch, and then we go to the office. I'm happy that my pickleball paddles came in today. Very, very happy. I've been waiting for those for the past week. They're supposed to be here Monday. They got delayed, so I might play pickleball later. And then this is kind of a cool concept. Beginning of the week, you just like cut up a bunch of vegetables and stuff. So I have like sliced tomatoes in here and sliced onion, which is perfect for a sandwich. I also have like pepper, mushrooms, stuff like that. It's a really good looking sandwich, by the way. Just very, very basic. It's got like everything on it. But you know, it's not like I didn't toast it or anything. Nothing fancy, you know. And these chips, these kettle jalapeno chips, are amazing. If you've never had them, definitely give it a shot. Definitely try them out sometime soon. And it's honestly just too nice outside to eat inside, so I'm just gonna go eat outside, and then we'll see you in the car. So I think the biggest problem that a lot of people have whenever it comes to like self-organization and things like that is people really seem to struggle with finding a system that actually works for all of their needs. And so for me, that's something that I struggled with for, years, honestly, like multiple years, like 5+ years of just trying different software, different methods, different, you name it, and really just trying to find what worked best for me. Because at the end of the day, what works best for me isn't going to be what works best for you or somebody else. For me, it was very important, I felt like, to find something that removed distractions. Because the biggest thing for me is and always has been distractions. So my main thing is the fact that if I track things on my phone, if I track things on my laptop, if I track things on my iPad, which the iPad's the best for me out of all of those electronics, but if I track things on any of those devices, I run into a constant bombardment of distractions. I want to watch this YouTube video, I want to work on this, I want to do this, I want to do this, and what happens is it really just creates this like disconnect or it created for me a really big disconnect where I stopped being as productive. Like, I would sit down and I would say, okay, cool, I'm going to plan my week out. And I would sit down and I would start to plan my week out. And then what would happen is I would get a text from somebody, a client needing something. Or I would get a Clash of Clans notification, which is just a game on your phone. Or I would have a friend text me and be like, yo, you want to play pickleball? Or, something like that. So what I found personally was the best way for me was through pen and paper. And creating this stuff through pen and paper, like creating my to-do list, my goals, my daily objectives, things like that, tracking things. I track my habits. I track the coffee intake, water intake, how much I sleep. Do I do content creation? Did I journal that day? I track a lot of things in my notebooks now that I didn't do before. Before, it was all through my laptop or all through my phone. And what I found is that removing that element of distraction, the electronic side of it, because I am so undisciplined whenever it comes to that stuff, that removing all of it and just doing it on pen and paper was 100 times better, and it completely changed the way that I do things. Like, it changed my life. It changed my the way that I work, the amount that I work, it reduced my burnout. I mean, it helped with so many things that were a really big deal for me. And it was just really cool because as somebody who has horrible handwriting, if you've seen any of my whiteboard videos, if you've seen any of my notebook videos where I show you what my notebooks actually look like, you know that it is horrible. It is like barely legible for anybody, especially myself. And it's just crazy to think that something so disconnected from my person, right? My person has always been my personality, my person, just what makes me has always been technology. It's always been electronics. It's always been gaming. It's always been, whatever it is, console gaming, PC gaming. It's always been tech. So for me to go completely off the grid and remove all of that and do a pen and paper, a pen and two notebooks technically, is just really, like, it kind of blew my mind a little bit. Like, it was just kind of like, oh, that's weird. I can't believe this had this kind of effect. So for me, I found that doing those two things, just doing pen and paper for me was the system that I needed. Now, what I will say is I've tried everything. I've tried Sunsama. I've tried Motion, Monday, Notion, Trello. I've tried, goodness, what else? Anything that you can think of, really. I tried something called Super OK at one point. I tried Google Boards. I've tried absolutely everything that you can think of in terms of productivity and like project management software. And nothing has worked even remotely as good as what I do now, which is the two notebook system. It's just mind blowing to think about that, because as somebody who loves tech and SaaS products and all of that stuff, it all fell so short. I just ran over a stick or like a plank of wood. Hopefully it didn't have nails in it. But it looked like people have been running over it all day. It was like black on the top, so I didn't really see it. But it's just so crazy to think that whenever you are in one industry, something completely different, something completely out of the blue from a totally different industry could completely change your life. You know what I mean? Something so rudimentary. And so I would definitely suggest to any of you out there who are interested in being very productive and eliminating those distractions, reducing procrastination, things like that. The system that I'm going to show you once we get to the office, it changed my life, and I do believe it's going to change yours. It is like night and day, and there's a lot of pieces to it that are completely unique, things that I came up with that would be, you could consider it my system. But there are plenty of things in here, and I make no, I'm not trying to claim this whole system is mine. I got it from Peter McKinnon, who got it from another guy, or a couple guys, and he made his own like iteration on it. So my goal isn't to steal. My goal is to take, give credit, and then iterate on it down the road. And that's the whole idea behind it. And that's what I've done with this system is I've taken it, I've changed it for what works best for me, and now I want to give it to you, and I want you to do the same. Go down the road, figure out what works best for you. I have a system in my planning that is I do weekly goals. And whenever I'm doing my daily goals, I look at my weekly goals in order to determine what my daily goals should be. You know what I mean? So I'm always keeping those weekly goals in mind. So it makes it really easy for me to get done with everything I need to get done with by the end of the week, as long as I'm focused and actually working. And then beyond that, I have another system called dailies, and dailies are really cool. It goes back to World of Warcraft, right? Back in World of Warcraft, whenever I was playing a lot of World of Warcraft, way back in the day, 2012, something like that. You would actually do what are called dailies. They're quests that you could do every single day. So you're finishing an objective every single day. And so for me, I kind of took that and ran with it and decided that I should do something like that every single day. What are the things that I want to do every single day, right? So one of them for me is posting. So posting a short video to YouTube every single day is what I want to do. A YouTube short. So that's one of my dailies. Whenever I get done with that, I mark it off. But it goes on my daily task list, the same as like my 8 critical tasks. And it's a really good system to have. And it works really, really well. Anyway, we're almost to the office, so I'll see you inside. So as you can kind of tell, the first part of my day is, especially on a Monday. Monday is my busiest day. So especially on a Monday, what I will do is I will always go outside. If it's nice out, I will sit down. I will text people, clients. I will text my business partner. I will talk to people. It's all about touching base on Monday morning. And the reason why is so that I can build out my goals list appropriately. Because if I'm left to my own devices and I'm like, oh, well, I remember I have to do this and this and this, I may miss something for a client, and I do not want to do that. So basically what happens is I sit down Monday and I think through, okay, who are the clients that are active currently, who needs something, what can I think of? And I just kind of brainstorm. And what I do is I go in my phone, and I just start scrolling, and I just start texting all of the clients that we have, or people who like our leads or whatever it is. I start texting them, just saying, hey, good morning. Here's where we are with your project. You can find it on Trello if you want to see like more in depth on how it's going, how it's like what we did last, when it was done, all this stuff. Over communicating to clients is always good for the client because they're like, oh, cool, they're actually doing my stuff. But it's also really good for me because I get to track everything and make sure that I'm on track and not missing something. So for my Mondays, that is the biggest priority, is to get all that stuff done. And then I call my business partner and say, yo, Bobby, what are we doing with this? Or, what did I forget here? And I'll read him out like everything that I want to do. And he'll say, oh, well, you forgot this. Or, oh, I didn't know we had this. So now I've made Bobby aware of something. So Bobby and I's communication is good. From that point, what I will do is I will make food like you guys saw, come to the office, make coffee, because that is what I always do. I will sit down. Sometimes I will work on websites. Sometimes I will edit videos, what have you. Right now I'm watching a Casey Neistat vlog to learn how to vlog better, because it sounds fun. And then I will sit down and I will just go over my goals. Here's how I do it. Okay. I'm going to show you how the cake is made, okay? Whatever that saying is. But anyway, these are my goals, okay? These are my goals for the week. This is all the stuff I want to get done between my 3 companies, okay? You have my digital company, you have my clothing company, and now you have my personal brand, which you're watching this on right now, okay? So those are the things that I want to get done this week, if it'll focus. There we go. Those are all the things. Hopefully you can see them. I'll move closer so you can read them. Keep in mind, the list that I'm showing you right now is intentionally vague because it's customer information. I don't like, yes, there will be a time that you guys will know my marketing company. It's not hard to find, I promise you. My clothing company, which also isn't hard to find, but I can't talk about clients. So that's why instead of saying like meeting with Jackson about, his solar or whatever, his solar company, bringing in solar leads or building a solar site, it just is very bland saying solar company because I can't share client information like that. So that's why it's general. But what I will do, like you've seen, is I will sit down and I will just start just writing out the goals of the week. Sometimes it is, I need to get this done, this deliverable for a client, website, whatever it is, funnel, email, sequence, whatever it is. And then sometimes it's something like, meeting with this person, trying to close this or doing this. And then, I just kind of do that for every business, just kind of get the goals of the week out. So those are the goals of the week as of April 7th, 2025. At the end of the week, I will go through, and by the way, I check them off as I go on the right side here. I check them off over here. But as I'm checking them off, that kind of helps me to visualize like, okay, I've done this. I need to do this. How can I do this? How can I make this work? And then what I will do after that is I will do the second part, which is my daily list. Okay. So my daily list is broken down into 8 key things that I have to do. Okay. So I always list it, tasks for April 7th, whatever the date is there. I have 1 through 8 critical tasks that I have to get done today for clients to stay on track for my weekly goals. Whenever I'm writing this little list, I have this big list open. Okay. So whenever I'm doing these things, I want to make it as obvious as possible. How do I accomplish these big tasks? By my day by day. Okay. So on here I have like Text Solar Co. and get site info because I can't put info on their site if I don't have the info about their company. Okay, so that's one of them. Record the vlog. We're doing that now. Perfect. Which correlate to the big goals over here. We have, I want to record the vlog. That's what I want to do this week on my personal brand. And then I want to finish the solar company site. Okay, so that's how it kind of correlates. Then what you'll notice is right here at the bottom, I have dailies. Now my dailies, that's my favorite section of doing this list because it's consistency. That's the biggest thing that I struggle with is like, oh, I'll post 5 videos in a week and then not post for 5 months. The dailies section of this, things that I want to do every single day, just keep me consistent. So for me, it's 15 and 15, which that one's going to switch out here pretty soon, I think. But the big one for me is posting. I want to post something every single day. Whether it's a short video, whether it's a medium-sized video or a vlog or something long, it doesn't matter. I want to post every single day to actively grow my dream in this situation, which is just helping as many people as I can make a full-time living online. That's my whole goal with this channel, with this personal brand, is just to help. That's all I want to do. And so instead of me saying, maybe I'll do a video tomorrow, whatever it is, no, you have to post and you get to mark that off. Okay. So this super complex page tracks all of my stuff. Okay. So my sleep is right here. And then all of these things that I track right here, I'll read them out to you really quick. There's, I think, 7 of them. So it's coffee, water, fast food, workout, 4 hours of work at least on my digital marketing company, content creation, 8 critical tasks for the day. And that does include my my dailies that I showed on there. And then journaling, do I sit down and actually write? Okay, so those are the things that I track. And so on this, right, on this little tiny one, what I want to do is I want to finish this whole list every single day. And then once I finish that list, I go in there and I scribble that box full. You know what I mean? So that I can track my progress. It's all habit tracking. Let's see, there's 2 days that I didn't finish my 8 critical tasks. It was the 1st and the 2nd of this month. So I'm a very firm believer in the saying that you can't improve when you can't see something, and you can't see it because you're not tracking it. So yes, I could go absolutely crazy and track absolutely everything. I try not to. So I try to track things that I can track easily, which would be 8 critical tasks, a couple of dailies that aren't too difficult. Some other dailies, by the way, that I could throw in here, things that I do every single day would be like Duolingo to learn Spanish. prayer or like a watch a video about a chapter of the Bible, something like that. Those would be really easy ones. Meditate, yoga, exercise, all of that stuff, really easy to put in the dailies. The reason why I love doing dailies is because it just builds up those muscles and just builds up those habits. And for me, that is such a big deal because my discipline just sucks. It just sucks so bad. So it takes a long time for me to actually do something different and a lot of work to go into it. And so this system that I just showed you, the 2-notebook system here, is absolutely incredible for me. I will share this with you. The notebook is called Leuchtturm or Lectern or something like that. It's German. Okay. Super cool. Really nice. It has stickers for when you're done. You put this on, like, you can put it on the front, you can put it on just on the inside, and then you put this on the spine. So once it's done, you can actually say like, oh, it went from this date to this date. You know, I had it for 300 days or whatever it was, however long you go through a notebook. It has this folder in it too, which is where I put this little guy. You just right in there, done deal, fold it, carryable. And then typically for me, I just clip the pin right on the front of it. So that's kind of how I do things. But Leuchtturm, whatever it is, I'll link it in the description down below. And you can check out their stuff. But they're really, really good quality, exactly what I'm looking for. And then, of course, Field Notes, baby. Field Notes, 48-page memo books where you can, just go through them and just write a ton in there. I do my 8 critical tasks every day. I do company notes or like business notes, meeting notes, things like that in there. I also do a lot of content creation ideas. Like I believe I wrote some just recently. Yeah. So there's some content ideas. It's not pretty. I get that. I know. I don't do like the whole like overly designed. It's totally practicality. I'm not trying to go for like, art awards or anything like that. I do doodle in them sometimes, but yeah, it's all practicality. I use some color at times, but it's few and far between. I'm literally looking for the one page that I use the different, boom, right there. Look at that. Oh, different colors. You know what I mean? So, the 2-notebook system has been incredible. So that's how I plan my week. That's how I plan the overarching milestones of my week, right? Those weekly goals. And then every single day I figure out my 8 critical tasks that I can do that day to get me closer to those goals up here. And when I'm creating the 8 critical tasks, I am looking at my goals. All right. And the whole time I'm just thinking, okay, what can I do here? Like, even if it's like a baby step, right? You don't have to say like, oh, finish the whole website today. It's not what you have to say. You know what I mean? Like in one of the things I say down here, just work on the 100+ lessons ebook. You know what I mean? Like right there. Just work on that ebook. You don't have to finish it. I think there's 20 so lessons that I have to finish still. Just work on it. Do 10, do 5, whatever it is. Just work on it. So that's kind of the whole system and how it breaks down. I find this way prevents those distractions, because distractions for me are the absolute worst. I cannot tell you how many times I'm looking at my phone or looking at my computer, gaming computer, by the way, back here, looking at something like that. Something pops up. Somebody wants me to go play pickleball, play a game. I'm getting a call that's not work related, whatever it is. And it just takes me away from it. So what I do is I turn my back on all this stuff. I sit here and I just knock out those 2 things every single week. And then at the end of the week, what I do is I go back and I review what got done, what didn't get done, why didn't it get done. I ask myself those simple questions, I answer them, and then the next week I try to just do better. Oh, and there's one other thing that I would like you guys to take away from this, and that is make time for the things that you enjoy. Yes, I just showed you a bunch of critical tasks and all of this stuff. It's all work, no fun, no play, no exercise. Go play pickleball. Go for a run, go for a walk, go do stuff like that. That's where I'm going now. I'm going to go play with those new paddles that you saw. So I'm going to go play with those, and I'll talk to you guys after that. Where's the ball? So the paddles were awesome. I was really happy that I got to use those, and I'm really liking them. I forgot to film afterwards, so that's why I'm here. But the main takeaway is just find a system that works for planning, that removes those distractions, and that works well for you. So try things that are outside of your comfort zone, because that's what I did, obviously, pen and paper, and it worked exceptionally well for me. So there's a really good chance it'll work well for you, or maybe some tech will work well for you, maybe an iPad or something like that. But just try it out, see what works best for you. And another key takeaway here is don't neglect your health. Go play pickleball, go for a run, walk your dog, whatever it is. Don't neglect your health. It's very important. So anyway, guys, much love and peace.